You are eating all of the right anti-inflammatory foods for your joints, but the pain is still there. What if the problem is not inside your joint, but it is actually in the tight muscle cage that is surrounding it? Today, we are not just giving you another list of remedies. We are revealing a doctor's 360-degree joint healing protocol to help you unlock this cage and to nourish your joints from within. Welcome back to Healthier Daily, the channel where we give you the simple, science-backed truths to live a stronger and more independent life after 60. I'm your host, Dr. Ben Carter, and to be our guide through this revolutionary 360-degree approach to healing, we are joined by a physician who has spent his life teaching the wisdom of looking at the body from all angles. It is our great honor to welcome Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you for having me, Ben. A joint cannot heal if it is trapped. The first and most important step must always be to gently unlock the cage that surrounds it. And then, once that joint is free, we can send in the healing nourishment. We must learn to work from the outside in, and then from the inside out. This is so very important. I had a patient, a woman who was doing everything right with her diet. She was eating the healthy fish, the beautiful berries, the dark leafy greens, but she was still in constant daily pain. Her joint was trapped in this muscle cage, and all of her healthy food could not do its job properly.
And that is exactly what our guide is all about today. In this detailed masterclass, Dr. Hinohara is going to walk us through this powerful 360-degree approach to healing. In our next section, Part 2, we will learn Act 1, the outside in approach, which is all about how to unlock the muscle cage. Then in the second half of our video, we will learn Act 2, the inside out approach, which is how to properly nourish the joint itself. It is a true blessing to have this kind of holistic wisdom to understand how to bring both peace and nourishment to our bodies. If you are ready to learn this complete 360-degree approach to finally finding relief from your joint pain, please type the number 1 in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. It's completely free. And this is a deep dive into a new and a very hopeful way of healing. Okay, doctor. This concept of a muscle cage is a complete paradigm shift for so many people who are suffering from chronic joint pain. It gives them a new place to look for answers. Let's begin our 360-degree protocol with Act 1, the outside in approach. How do we begin to unlock this painful cage?
Yes. The source text for our video today shares a profound insight from a very experienced orthopedic specialist. And he says that very often the primary issue that is causing the pain is that the joint has become trapped in a muscle cage. The muscles that are surrounding the painful joint have become so tight and they have formed so many painful knots, or what we call trigger points, that they are constantly squeezing and compressing the delicate joint space. This is what creates so much of the chronic pain. And this was exactly the problem for my patient. She was eating all of the right anti-inflammatory foods, but her knee was still trapped inside this tight and painful cage of muscles. So our very first step in her healing journey was not to give her more food to eat, but it was to teach her these simple and beautiful outside in remedies to begin to unlock this cage and to set her joint free.
So our first goal is to relax the tight muscles that are surrounding the joint. What is the first and the most important remedy for this?
The first and the most important remedy is always gentle movement. A joint that does not move becomes a stiff and a painful joint. The body is designed for movement.
And the science of this is so beautiful. Gentle, low-impact movement, like a daily walk or some gentle swimming, encourages your body to be able to produce more synovial fluid. Now, this is the beautiful egg white-like fluid that naturally lubricates and cushions your joints. So the simple act of movement is literally oiling the rusty hinge from the inside.
So, gentle movement is the key. And our second outside-in remedy is the beautiful and the very ancient wisdom of taking a warm bath with sea salt. This is especially wonderful as the weather begins to get cooler in these early autumn months.
And this simple remedy works in two powerful ways. The heat from the warm water is a very powerful and a very natural muscle relaxant. It helps all of those tight and angry muscles in the cage to finally let go of their tension. And the magnesium from the sea salt can be gently absorbed through your skin. And as we know, magnesium is our master relaxation mineral. It is a perfect two-part therapy for a painful and a tired joint.
That is a beautiful and a very relaxing remedy. What is our third tool for unlocking the cage doctor?
Our third tool is a very traditional and a very simple homemade compress. It is made from aloe vera and raw honey. As the source text describes, you simply mix the aloe juice and the honey with a little bit of warm water. You apply it gently to the painful joint, you can cover it with some plastic wrap, and you can leave it on overnight. It is a very gentle and a very soothing anti-inflammatory remedy that has been used for centuries.
A beautiful traditional compress. Now, what is our fourth and final outside-in tool? Doctor, I know this one's a little bit spicy.
Yes, our final tool is a homemade red pepper oil massage. And the science of this is absolutely fascinating. The red peppers, as we know, contain that very powerful compound capsaicin. When you apply the capsaicin to your skin in an oil, it has a beautiful warming effect, and it helps to increase the healthy blood circulation to those tight muscles. But more profoundly, it works by helping to block the pain signals, a special neurotransmitter called substance P, from being able to reach your brain. So it is a natural and a very effective topical pain reliever. It is a brilliant way to directly speak to the nerves and the muscles that are a part of that painful muscle cage. It is a truly blessed thing to have so many different gifts from nature, the water, the salt, and all of these beautiful plants that can help us to bring peace and healing to our bodies from the outside. So Act 1 of our 360-degree protocol is all about unlocking that painful muscle cage from the outside using gentle movement and these beautiful traditional topical remedies. That is a critical first step to creating a peaceful environment for the joint. Now that the joint is free from its cage doctor, how do we begin to nourish and to rebuild it from the inside? This brings us to the second and equally important act of our protocol, Act 2, the inside-out approach.
Yes, once the cage has been unlocked and the joint is at peace, we must now send in the two most important teams to be able to heal the joint from within. The first team is the firefighters, and the second team is the construction crew.
Let's start with the firefighters, Doctor. What are the most powerful anti-inflammatory foods that our viewers should be eating to calm their joints from the inside out?
The source text for our video today gives us a beautiful and a very powerful list of the best natural firefighters. It includes the beautiful fatty fish, like wild salmon and sardines, the deep-colored berries, like blueberries, and the golden healing spices, turmeric and ginger.
And each of these is a true master firefighter in its own right. The fatty fish, as we know from so many of our videos, provide the incredibly powerful omega-3s, DHA, and EPA. These are the most potent and direct anti-inflammatory fats that we can eat. The berries, like the beautiful blueberries, are absolutely packed with those dark-colored antioxidants, the anthocyanins, which help to protect the delicate joint tissues from the daily damage of oxidative stress. And finally, the turmeric and the ginger provide their own very powerful and very famous anti-inflammatory compounds, the curcumin and the gingerols. And these compounds have been shown to work on the very same inflammatory pathways in the body as many of the common pain medications, but they do this in a much more gentle and a much more holistic way.
So that is our team of firefighters, a brilliant and a very delicious combination. Now, Doctor, what about the construction crew? What are the foods that provide the actual physical building blocks to be able to repair the damaged cartilage in our joints?
For this very important job, we must turn to a very ancient and a very traditional food. The most powerful food for providing the direct building blocks for our cartilage is a beautiful, slow-cooked bone broth.
And for my patient, the woman with the trapped and painful knee, this was the very next step in her healing journey. After she had spent a few weeks working on unlocking the muscle cage from the outside with the gentle movements and the warm baths, she then began to have a small, warm cup of a homemade bone broth every single day. She was now sending the construction crew into a peaceful and a very well-prepared work site.
And this is such a profound and a very wise piece of traditional medicine. Let's look at the deep science of this. A high-quality bone broth that has been gently simmered for a very long time is the richest natural source of 3 absolutely essential compounds for our joints. First, as we have discussed, it provides type 2 collagen, which is the exact type of collagen that your own cartilage is made of. So with the bone broth, you are providing your body with the direct and perfect raw material that it needs for repair. And second, it is a very rich source of glucosamine and chondroitin sulfate. These are the very compounds that help to draw precious moisture into the cartilage, which is what gives it its beautiful plump and cushioning effect. So with one simple and very comforting cup of bone broth, you are providing your joints with both the very structure that they need and the beautiful lubrication that they need to be able to move smoothly. It is a truly blessed and a perfect food, especially for these cooler autumn months. It is a beautiful example of the deep and holistic nourishment that comes from these wise and traditional ways of eating. This is such a complete and a very holistic approach to healing, Doctor. We love sharing it with our global community. To help us see our global community, please let us know what city, state, or country you are watching from. We love hearing from all of you.
So we now have our powerful team of firefighters and our wonderful construction crew from the bone broth to help heal our joints from the inside out. But there is one final very simple and very affordable tool in our inside-out approach that I want to share with our viewers today. Our final tool for internal nourishment is simple, unflavored gelatin.
And the source text for our video provides a very specific and a very powerful protocol for using this gelatin. Can you share that with us, Doctor?
Of course. This is a very old and a very traditional remedy. In the evening before you go to bed, you will mix 2 teaspoons of a high-quality, unflavored gelatin powder with about 1/3 of a glass of cold water. You will stir it, and you will let this mixture sit on your counter overnight. It will become very thick. Then in the morning, you will add warm water to fill the rest of the glass. You will stir it well until it has dissolved, and you will drink it on an empty stomach. You should do this every morning for 1 full month, and then you will take 1 month off before you repeat the cycle.
And this is such a brilliant and a very targeted protocol. Let's explain the science of this for our viewers. As the source text for our video so correctly notes, gelatin is essentially just cooked collagen. It provides the body with a very concentrated and a very easy to absorb dose of the 2 most important amino acid bricks that are needed for building new cartilage and all of our connective tissue. And those 2 important amino acids are glycine and proline. By drinking this on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, you are ensuring that these important building blocks are absorbed very quickly and very efficiently by your body without any competition from other foods. Now, doctor, let's go back one final time to your patient. The woman who was eating all of the right foods but was still in pain because her joint was trapped in that muscle cage.
Yes, this is the beautiful conclusion to her healing story. As we said, she had been eating all of the right inside-out foods for a long time, but she saw very little result because her joint was trapped and inflamed. When she first added the outside-in protocol, when she started the gentle movements, the warm baths, and the topical remedies, she finally began to feel some real relief from her pain for the first time in years. The cage was finally being unlocked. But it was only when she combined both the outside-in protocol with the inside-out protocol that the true and the lasting healing began. With the cage unlocked and the muscles at peace, the healing nourishment from her healthy food and from the simple gelatin remedy could finally get to the very place where it needed to go. The deep chronic pain and the swelling that she had been living with for so long finally started to recede in a very lasting and a very beautiful way. She had finally learned the secret of the 360-degree approach to healing.
That is a truly profound story of healing. Now, doctor, before we conclude our video today, the source text for our video lists several very important warning signs that our joints might be in trouble. Can you quickly walk us through what our viewers at home should be listening for from their own bodies?
Yes, the body always speaks to us in gentle whispers before it begins to scream. The first whisper is often morning stiffness. If your joints feel very stiff and very hard to move in the morning when you first wake up, that is an important sign. A burning sensation, especially if the joint is also red and hot to the touch, is a very clear sign of active and present inflammation. Restricted movement is another important sign. If you find that it is suddenly difficult to be able to bend your knee fully or to be able to hold a key in your hand, these are important signs that the joint is losing its healthy function. And finally, those creaky joints that so many people worry about. The little clicks and the pops can sometimes be normal. But if those creaking sounds are also accompanied by pain, it is a clear sign that the beautiful smooth cartilage may be wearing thin. It is a blessed wisdom to learn how to listen to these gentle whispers from our body so that we can respond with gentle care before they ever become screams of pain.
Doctor, this has been an incredible and a truly revolutionary guide. Your 360-degree joint healing protocol gives our viewers at home a complete and a very intelligent way to be able to fight back against chronic joint pain. We have learned that we must first unlock the muscle cage from the outside, and only then can we truly nourish and rebuild the joint from the inside. This is a profound and a very hopeful approach to senior health. By following this wise 360-degree approach, our viewers can now begin to address the deep root causes of their joint pain, not just the symptoms. This important knowledge is a true cornerstone of a proactive senior health strategy. It is a practical and a very powerful way to fight back against the daily discomfort of joint pain and to live a more vibrant and a more mobile life. Now, doctor, this 360-degree protocol is a complete roadmap to healing. But for our viewers at home who are in a great deal of pain right now and who might feel a little bit overwhelmed, what is the best and the most gentle first step that they can take this week to begin their journey?
That is the most important question of all. The journey to healing must always begin with one single gentle step. I will give you a simple 3-part action plan for your very first week. First, you must begin with bringing peace. For this first week, I want you to focus only on the outside-in approach that we discussed. Your only job for this week is to calm the muscle cage. I want you to choose just one of the gentle movements that we talked about, perhaps a short and a very mindful walk. And I want you to choose just one of the topical remedies, like a beautiful warm sea salt bath in the evening. That is all. Your only goal for the first week is to bring a sense of calm and peace to the painful area. Second, in your second week, once the area is a little bit calmer, you will then introduce the nourishment gently. You will now begin to add just one of the inside-out foods. Perhaps you will start by having a simple warm cup of a homemade bone broth every single day. You must not overwhelm a system that is already in distress. And third, and this is the most important step, you must observe your body with great kindness. At the end of each day, I want you to keep a small journal, and I want you to ask yourself, how does my joint feel today? Is the fire a little bit calmer? Is the stiffness a little bit less? Let your body's own gentle feedback be your greatest guide. This is how you learn to become the master of your own healing.
That is a beautiful and a very achievable action plan. Now, beyond the physical actions, what is the mindset that a person needs to cultivate to be able to truly heal from this kind of chronic pain?
First, you must have patience. The damage that has happened to your joints did not happen in 1 week, and the healing will not happen in 1 week either. You are like a patient gardener, gently tending to the soil of your body every single day. Second, you must have consistency. The body does not respond to heroic one-time efforts. It responds to the small, the gentle, and the consistent daily acts of care. Your daily warm bath is much more powerful than one expensive spa treatment once a month. And third, you must have hope. You must believe in your body's own incredible and innate ability to be able to heal. These tools that we have discussed do not do the healing. They simply create the right and the perfect environment for your own body to be able to do the beautiful and intelligent work that it was designed to do.
That is a beautiful way to conclude our lesson today.
I want to leave you with this one final thought. You must not just treat the joint from one single direction. You must unlock the cage from the outside, and you must nourish the tissue from the inside. This is the complete and the wise path to finding true freedom from pain.
That is a wonderful message, Doctor. It's a powerful reminder to be good stewards of our health by embracing a complete, a holistic, and a blessed approach to our own healing. And of course, it is absolutely essential that you speak with your personal doctor before starting any new remedies or making significant changes to your diet, especially if you have existing health conditions. Please remember that our conversation today is for educational purposes. If you found this guide empowering and it gave you a new and a hopeful strategy for your joint health, please give this video a like so that others can find this vital information, and be sure to share it with a friend or a family member. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It is completely free and it ensures you will not miss our next practical health guide. And for our community discussion today, we would love to know which part of this 360-degree protocol, the outside-in approach or the inside-out approach, are you most excited to try first? Please share your first step in the comments below. Thank you for being with us. Be well.